Hey y'all, it's K Divine. I wanted to talk about something that's kind of been on my mind. Um, and I'm probably going to be posting a lot of videos, so y'all see a lot of stuff being posted all at once. I got a lot to say right now, because I've been just, thinking about a lot of my experiences. I also been seeing 666 a lot, telling me to reflect, so I've been reflecting a lot, and I want to talk about manipulators for a minute. And I'm gonna try not to make this message too long because, you know, it's not really necessary because we know we know how people are. But I want to talk about manipulators for a second. I want to talk about how a lot of manipulators do the same stuff. And I'm not saying like everyone is not a narcissist, okay? Everyone is not a narcissist. However, I think a lot of people have narcissistic tendencies. And I believe that a lot of people are just fake. So it's like, and I feel like we live in a world and a society where a lot of people feel like in order for them to get what it is that they want or what they feel like they need, they have to play around with people instead of just being straight up. But a lot of the reason why a lot of the people can't be straight up about what they're doing to people or what they're trying to get from people is because they know that what they're doing is wrong. But I want to talk about like manipulators and love bombing for a second, because it's something that I recently experienced, and I realized that like the pattern, like it may happen in different ways, but they always do it the same way, right? So usually, like in the beginning stages of any type of relationship, I don't really care what it is, even if it's your mama, or if it's a romantic partner or somebody who's supposed to be a potential friend. A lot of times these people, their love bomb initially is like compliments, or they seem like they're interested in you, or like they try to make you feel safe around them. Thank you, spirit. They try to make you feel safe with them and make you feel like you are like-minded individuals, or that you are okay with that person. And so, you let your guard down a bit. You say, okay, I can trust this person, or, I can at least, relax a little bit around this person. And then later on, it could be days, it could be the same day. Who knows? It depends on the person. It depends on what they're trying to do to you. It could be a day, a week, a month. It could take some time depending on who it is. But eventually this person will start to devalue you. So a lot of, like I say, even if these people aren't full-blown narcissists, a lot of these people, they do take on that narcissistic cycle of love bombing, devaluing, and discarding. And that love bombing part, though, that's one of their go-to tactics. It's one of it's their go-to. And it's because it's easy, because especially they can, a lot of manipulators can tell people who are in need of love, or they want approval or things like that, and they feed off of that. They feed off of your wanting to have community. They feed off of you wanting to have some sort of relationship. So it's like they'll make you feel comfortable so that they can start, as Andrew from Narc Daily would say, pepper you with abuse. And it's so true, because and a lot of times it's subtle. And if you're not sure, or if you're not well versed in what's really happening, if you're not really tapped in, if you're not really aware of it, you might think like, oh, that person might just be having a bad day, or something might be off a little bit, or maybe it's me, maybe I did something to them. You didn't do anything to that person. They're just showing you who they really are. And go watch my last message I made, or one of my last messages I made, about let people reveal themselves to you. Let people reveal themselves to you. I made the mistake this past week of like instantly trusting someone that I should have vetted first. I should have tried to get to know her a little bit more before I trusted her. And I mean, it was the interaction wasn't all bad, because in the end I did get to I did get some things that I needed. And I think I said this in one of my last messages as well. You know, God has been giving me some small blessings. You know, when it comes down to some of the stuff that I've needed, like I've asked for like specific things, like, you know, because of I'm really low on money, don't have much to spend, and I've, you know, been relying on, you know, pantries and things of that nature in order to get what I need for right now until things start to change. And there's a small pantry not too far from here that I go to and check regularly to see what I can get. And a lot of people put really good things in there. I even got some powdered donuts yesterday. So it's like, you know, people do put stuff in there. But I had asked for like protein. I was like, I really would like some meat, because it had been a minute. I had been like living off of like bread and peanut butter and like oatmeal, and I was like, I would really like, you know, like some protein, some meat, something that could hold me a little bit longer. Hold on. But I ended up going to that pantry one of them days, and there was like 2 cans of ground beef. I've never seen canned ground beef before, but if you're ever in a pinch and you have some, that stuff works just fine. And there was a can of chicken and a can of tuna, and I couldn't take both cans of ground beef. They were rather large, and I didn't have enough room in my bag for everything. But I did take one of the cans and the chicken and the tuna, and I ate. I was very happy. The first thing I ate was that chicken. I was so excited, but I was like, that's what I asked for. And then the next time I asked for something, I was like, I hope somebody puts in a can of chili in here. And then lo and behold, like within a couple of days, there was a can of chili. It was actually kind of cool. I was very excited. But back to the manipulators. Sorry. But, you know, I did get some things from that person that I did need, or like, you know, our interaction allotted me some of the things that I wanted. Because like I said, there were certain things that I had been asking the Most High for, or I said, like, you know, if I could find somebody or something where I can get some of these for like a little bit, like that would be great. And some of the stuff that I really wanted, I actually got. So the interaction with this person wasn't all bad. The issue was that she didn't really like me, and which is fine, but she tried to convince me that the divine told her that she was gonna meet a Capricorn and that we were gonna be best friends. Now, it's a possibility. There are 3 hawks right over here. I just need to say that, like, that's crazy. I've never seen 3 of them all at the same time. Now, now, like I said, everything wasn't all bad. And it's okay that she didn't like me, and I'm not saying that, you know, the divine probably the divine could have told her that she was going to meet a Capricorn and that was going to be her best friend, but I'm not that Capricorn. And I could tell, because I was like, the way that she was doing certain things, like little subtle things towards me. But then she would love bomb me. Like, she bought me food the other day. There's another hawk and another hawk. I don't know if hawks are significant in y'all lives, but they're very significant in mine. And that's 5. It's a lot. But she just she bought me some food, and that was nice, and I appreciated that. But then she, like I said, like, she would pepper me with abuse, and I'm like, where'd that come from? Like, there was a point in time where she accused me of taking a bag out of her car that belonged to her, and I was like, I don't recall taking anything that was yours. All I can remember is the stuff that was mine. And then she just out of nowhere was like, you make a lot of mistakes, and well, you 29 and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, dang, where did that come from? Like, I make a lot of mistakes. It's like, ma'am, I've known you all of like 48 hours. If that, at that point. So I'm like, I make a lot of mistakes for someone that you just met. And then I was like, okay. And so, me being me, I was just like, all right, just let this go the way it's gonna go, but don't get upset. So I was just like, okay, well, if I did take it, I'm sorry, and I'll check my trunk when we get back to, and then she was like, well, I'm not saying you did it on purpose. And I said, well, I didn't say that you did say that I did it on purpose, but I'm saying that if I did do something wrong, then I apologize. Like, I'm not about to. But it was clear to me that she was trying to find an angle to get me upset. And I could tell by the last interaction we had, because our last interaction was on Sunday and I haven't seen her since. And so that was 2 days ago. And she was trying to tell me that someone that had helped me, she said that she had a lot to say about me. And I'm like, and I just told her straight up, I don't care. Like, I was like, I don't care, because I'm the type of person who believes that if anybody says something about me and I wasn't present to hear what they had to say, then it's none of my business. They need to go deal with that. That conversation was between you and her, and she obviously felt comfortable enough to say however she felt about me to you. So if she felt comfortable, that means that y'all was gossiping about me, and I don't play them. Like, I don't play those games. And these people are significantly older than me. So manipulators do that weird stuff to you. Like, when I say, like I said, she bought me food, she took me a couple places with her, but I remember, like, the second night, that second night, so Friday night, she could tell that she had a massive like kind of blow up, where she was like she yelled, and I was like, ooh. And she kept trying to push it off on me, saying it was my energy. And I'm like, no, that's not me. That's not me at all. So then, when everything was said and done, that night, and it's like, I'm not even gonna go to full details, but the day was really weird. Like, you could tell that she was trying to upset me. And finally, we get back, and she just starts giving me stuff. she starts giving me coconut water, and she just like comes to my door, and she's like, here. And then, I'm just like, she just was giving me stuff. I'm like, oh, thank you. She had went into the dollar store up here, and when she came out, I don't know what she was doing in there for so long, but then she comes out, and then she's like, do you want anything? Can I get you something? Like, do you want a snack or something? Like, oh, well, do you have something to drink? And I was like, I have water. Like, I'm good. Like, I don't, although yes, I would have liked a snack or, all of that stuff. It was evident to me at that point that she wasn't doing it because she wanted to do it. She was doing it because there was an agenda behind it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, manipulators will do certain things to you. That love bombing, they'll try to give you stuff and do stuff for you, so that when they so it's like a silent contract. Thank you, Spirit. It's like a silent contract of you saying, I will accept the abuse from you by accepting these gifts, by accepting these favors. Like, in a way, it's like they feel like you owe them. Like, you like, well, I did X, Y, and Z for you, so now I can treat you however I want. And it's like, that's just so crazy. And if you find yourself in these predicaments with these types of people, I urge you to get out of there like swiftly, as quickly as you possibly can. Please. Like, I asked the Most High, I said, whatever you have to do to make us disconnect, let us disconnect. And I haven't seen her in 2 days. And I don't think that she's going to come back over here, honestly, because I think she knows now, like, I know who you are. I'm going to make another video probably today about playing dumb and how important it is, because it's so important. It's so important. And I want you guys to understand, like, when I tell you that these manipulators, they are not interested in, they're not interested in really being a part of your world. They're not really interested in being your friend. They're not interested in being part of your family or being your companion, your partner. They're not concerned with any of that. Whatever it is they're trying to get off of you is what they're going to do. And if that means that giving you stuff and making you feel like, oh, well, I'm thinking of you, that's what they do. So I'll even use an example for relationships, for instance. For like, if you're in a relationship with like a narcissistic type of person, sometimes what they'll do is they'll be super, super abusive towards you. Like, it could be physical, it could be mental, it could be psychological, it could be any of those things. And then they will buy you gifts. So I'll use like the example of like, if y'all ever watch What's Love Got to Do with It, y'all remember when Lawrence Fishburne playing Ike Turner, how he grabbed Angela Bassett's character Tina from the pool side and dragged her into the house, into the bedroom. And then he was like, so then he left her there all beaten and stuff. Talk about some, oh, so I guess you gonna leave me now. So leave me, so then go or whatever. And then walks out. And then, she's sitting in the bed, sleep for hours or whatever after the abuse. And then he comes in with a wrapped up gift. That is what I'm talking about when I talk about love bombing. That is exactly what I'm talking about. It's like, you beat on me, you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, however it is that they're doing it to you. And then you try to come back and try to say, I'm sorry, with gifts in a way. And it's like the lady that was doing this to me, she was older than me. And, when she said we was going to be best friends, and I was like, I'm not getting that down low. Now, I did play stupid, and I had pulled some cards, and the Two of Cups came out, but then the Queen of Cups in reverse came out for her. And I didn't say anything to her about it, but I did tell her about the Two of Cups. I said, oh, I was pulling cards and the Two of Cups came out, so this is a divine union and all this other stuff. So I was like, let's see how it goes. And then, I had researched some stuff, and when I deciphered it later, I was like, yeah, that Queen of Cups in reverse was her. Very codependent, very emotionally immature. That's what the Queen of Cups is in reverse. So I was like, all right, well, that makes sense now. So good to know that spirit warned me. And she was trying to tell me that she could teach me magic and all this other stuff, and I'm like, girl, I am magic. Like, I'm a whole tarot reader. What are you talking about? Like, that is magical. That's magical. Like, what are you talking about? So it's just, and that's why I'm saying, like, these people, they try to make you feel like you need them. Like, without them, you will fail. You'll be nothing. And that's just not the case. They will love bomb you until they feel like they're at a good enough point to abuse you. And if you're quick enough to catch on to it, they will start, like, and being still and letting that's what I'm saying, let them reveal themselves to you. Because then when they realize, like, I didn't get the reaction that I wanted, they didn't complain the way I thought they were going to complain. Because that's what she was trying to do. She was trying to get me to complain. She was trying to get me to be ungrateful, because that's what she wanted. She wasted my whole day on Friday going around places that we didn't need to be at. We went to Sam's Club twice for no reason. I was so irritated. But I was like, nope, just let this shit play out. And I was like, tomorrow, I ain't doing shit. I was like, tomorrow, I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to go do my thing. And that's exactly what I did. And like I said, I haven't seen her in 2 days. Because that's what she wanted. She wanted a little sidekick. She thought that I was going to be so desperate to, get out of my situation that I was going to do anything. But if y'all go watch one of my last messages I posted, I said, you got to be patient and wait on God. And just because an opportunity, thank you, Spirit. The Seven of Cups has been coming out a lot, and it's been warning me of opportunities and illusions. And that is really what it is. A lot of people will try to come to you as if they are giving you some sort of opportunity. They're giving you an opportunity of love, opportunity of community, opportunity of understanding, understanding and all these other things, but really they're just illusions. It's really them being energy vampires and wanting to feed off of you, because that's what they want. That's what they need in their lives. That's what they need. They need that. Okay? So please don't fall for those traps. Understand the signs, look for things. I'm going to be posting a lot more, like, I'm going to talk about body language, and I'm going to talk about, different examples, so that you guys have a better understanding of what it is that you're dealing with and how to combat it, because it can be hard. It's not always easy, especially if you've been in isolation for a long time, or you've never really had a lot of friends, or, like you've just never been able to maintain friendships. It can be difficult, because when you meet people and you kind of feel like you click, you get excited. That's what happened to me. I got excited because I was like, oh, finally, someone I could talk to about being in alignment with, and talk about spiritual stuff, because I don't meet a lot of people who are spiritual. But it's like, those people can have all the information in the world about spirituality. They can have all the talking points and all of that. That doesn't actually mean that they're tapped in for real. Because this girl was telling me of how many downloads she was getting all the time, and she was like, so she's like, the divine told me that I was gonna blah 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 blah, but it's like, but then stuff wasn't happening in the way that she said it was. So I was confused, and I was like, I don't know if you really tapped in or if you playing around with me. I'm not saying she might actually. I do think she might actually be gifted, but there are evil people out here who are gifted, that use their gifts for evil. So that has nothing to do with it. But whether the divine was really telling her those things or not, I don't know. But that was my message, y'all. Like, y'all have to be careful with love bombing and stay away from these manipulators as much as possible. And if something feels off, it is. That's going to be our motto for the rest of the year. If it feels off, it is off, okay? Trust your gut. I love you guys. It's your girl, K Divine. I'll see you later. Bye.